When there is certainty, that's the case that capital punishment can be used.
I do not believe that, that we have a right in this country, in the Constitution, to take a human life.
I was in Iowa the other day and someone said, why don't you just raise taxes on corporations? And I said, because corporations are people.
I believe that life is sacred.
On occasion, scientists working on the nuclear program in Iran turn up dead. I think that's a wonderful thing.
Governor Perry, a question about Texas. Your state has executed 234 death row inmates, more than any other governor in modern times. Have you struggled to sleep at night with the idea that any one of those might have been innocent?
No, sir, I've never struggled with that at all.
If the NAACP invites me, I'll go to their convention and talk about why the African American community should demand paychecks and not be satisfied with food stamps.
We didn't invade Iraq.
Senator John McCain. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. The thing McCain loved about the Naval Academy was he got to study all the time. He and I both showed that if people with C averages can succeed.
My GPA earned me 5th from the bottom of my class at the Naval Academy status. So I can assure you it would be barely passing.
You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
President Obama once said he wants everybody in America to go to college. What a snob.
Tonight I ask every American to commit to at least 1 year or more of higher education or career training.
It was just last week when President Bush seemed so shocked at a news conference when someone mentioned $4 a gallon gas prices. It was certainly news to him.
What's your advice to the average American who is hurting now, facing the prospect of $4 a gallon gasoline? A lot of people facing...
Wait a minute, what did you just say? You're predicting $4 a gallon gasoline?
A number of analysts are predicting $4 a gallon gasoline this spring when they reformulate.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
But today, just 4 days later, $4 a gallon gas is a reality.
But Congressman, are you saying the society should just let him die?
No.
Okay, but can you tell me one person on Fox News, just one, who has told this audience that they'll go to jail if they don't buy health insurance? You don't know anybody on Fox News because there hasn't been anyone. I don't have universal health care. Now let's get, no, you will soon. Or I'll go to jail. Yeah, are you going to be a conscientious objector to health care? You know, that's the first time in history in our country where just to be a citizen, just to not go to jail, right, you have to buy something. I think you should go to prison for this cause. Really? I do. Yeah. All right, that'd be fun. I'll help you.
Do we all worship the same God, Christian and Muslim?
I think we do. We have different routes of getting to the Almighty.
Does bin Laden, does Abu Musab al-Zarqawi pray to the same God that you and I do?
I think they pray to a false God.
I think the people that Barack Obama has been associating with are anti-American by and large.
Let me ask you very quickly. You said you were concerned during the campaign that Obama had anti-American views, and you said the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look at the views of the people in Congress and find out if they're pro-America or anti-America.
Actually, that's not what I said at all.
How many people in the Congress of the United States do you think are anti-American? You've already suspected Barack Obama. Is he alone or are there others? How many do you suspect of your colleagues as being anti-American?
What I would say is that the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look. I wish they would. I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
In 2010, when I was deployed to Iraq, I had to lie about who I was because I'm a gay soldier, and I didn't want to lose my job. My question is, under one of your presidencies, do you intend to circumvent the progress that's been made for gay and lesbian soldiers in the military?
We did not have a terrorist attack on our country during President Bush's term.
The terrorists attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens. What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
It makes her a slut, right? Makes her a prostitute.
And I tell somebody, I said, just because you have a group of scientists that have stood up and said, here is the fact, Galileo got outvoted for a spell.
I don't want to make people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money.
What is so strange about being honest and saying, I want Barack Obama to fail?
You're a presidential candidate. That's tough, right? I mean, it kind of comes back to bite you that you made money off of things that were published under your name that were hateful and racist.
Yeah.
Is EPA the one you were talking about? Or?
No, sir. No, sir. We were talking about the agencies of government. EPA needs to be rebuilt. There's no doubt about that.
But you can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, the commerce, and let's see, I can't. The third, sorry. Oops.
The indoctrination that occurs in American universities is one of the keys to the left holding and maintaining power in America.
Do we need the federal government to tell us whether we buy a safe car? I say the consumers of America are smart enough to decide what kind of car they can buy and whether it's safe or not.
At the time, by the way, I crafted the plan. In the last campaign, I was asked, is this something that you would have the whole nation do? And I said, no. This is something that was crafted for Massachusetts. It would be wrong to adopt this as a nation. Was able to put in place a plan that helped get health insurance premiums down and gets all of our citizens insured. If we can do that nationally, we help not only Michigan and the auto industry, but the entire nation.
If we are going to pay for your contraceptives and thus pay for you to have sex, we want something for it. And I'll tell you what it is. We want you to post the videos online so we can all watch.
I believe, based on what I read, that the world is getting warmer. And number two, I believe that humans contribute to that.
My view is that we don't know what's causing climate change on this planet.
8 years ago this week, 8 years ago today, in fact, that war that President Bush ultimately launched was approaching its first birthday. It would eventually have many more birthdays. But that same president was running for re-election, running against a Democratic senator who was a highly decorated Vietnam combat veteran. And at this point in that campaign, 2004, 8 years ago, the first attack ad from the George W. Bush re-election campaign was launched against Senator Kerry. It was an attack ad that hit Senator Kerry for being against the Iraq War.
He wanted to delay defending America until the United Nations approved.
The first anti-John Kerry attack ad of the 2004 campaign was about Iraq, the phantom menace that we needed to defend America from. And thank God we started that war when we did. Good thing we didn't wait. It almost seems crazy looking back on it, because it wasn't that long ago. But if you look at public opinion at the time, the president's re-election campaign that year knew that an argument like that would be well received. At least it would be well received among Republicans.
You have said in the past that it was, quote, pretty well confirmed.
No, I never said that.
Okay. I
never
think
said
that is...
No, it's absolutely not. What I said was the Czech intelligence service reported after 9/11 that Atta had been in Prague on April 9th of 2001, where he allegedly met with an Iraqi intelligence official. We have never been able to confirm that, nor have we been able to knock it down. It's been pretty well confirmed that he did go to Prague and he did meet with a senior official of the Iraqi intelligence service in Czechoslovakia last April.
Look at how people felt about the Iraq War in 2004 during that campaign. Your opinion on the Iraq War, look, In 2000, it's like there's a mirror in the middle of that. Your opinion on the Iraq War in 2004, whether you were for it or against it, was essentially entirely determined by which party you belonged to. If you were a Republican, you liked that war. If you were a Democrat, you did not like that war. Full stop. That's how it was in 2004. That is not, of course, how it is now. President Obama ended the Iraq War in December, and Americans are very happy that he did so, overwhelmingly, in very large numbers, in a not very stratified way. There is essentially a national near consensus that it is a good thing that the Iraq War is over.
Now, I haven't agreed with everything President Bush has done. One thing is indisputable, though. This president has kept the nation safe.
Isn't it a fact, Dr. Rice, that the August 6 PDB warned against possible attacks in this country? And I ask you whether you recall the title of that PDB.
I believe the title was Bin Laden determined to attack inside the United States.
I'm not willing to sit back and say too bad for Michigan, too bad for the car industry, too bad for the people who've lost their jobs, they're gone forever.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. The headline you read, which is said, let Detroit go bankrupt.
I think people understand that I'm a man of steadiness and constancy.